Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We're focusing in on one of the very pronounced effects of being around a narcissist or a psychopath, and that is one of really feeling like an emotional hostage. When one feels like an emotional hostage, one feels an energy drain, a feeling of being less than, a feeling of being lower on the totem pole as it relates to a hierarchy that was initially or unconsciously set up by a narcissist or psychopathic abuser. This hierarchy is set up in the love bombing phase. So, the love bombing phase occurs when essentially you become enmeshed, or you become engulfed, or you become enamored, or you become enthralled with this individual. And as we all know, the narcissist as well as the psychopath have a way of luring people in. They have a way of sweeping people off of their feet. They have a way of charming people, and not just in typical nice guy, nice girl, girl next door sort of feel, but more like they are larger than life. And when you buy in to their persona as larger than life, basically you are ingratiating yourself to them as a source of supply, and furthermore, unconsciously agreeing to be part of this bargain or part of this agreement or part of this relationship to concede to their larger than life persona. So it's all occurring on a very unconscious level. The narcissist, though, because of their upbringing or because of their talent or their origin, it can vary in a number of cases, but they essentially are operating by a larger than life ego mindset attitude. And larger than life basically just meaning superior to, above the rules, laws, norms of society that most people have to honor and obey, and they feel above and beyond the law. They feel above reproach for whatever reason. It's unique in each situation. However, that is the foundation that is laid in the personality or character of a narcissistic individual. And so when you are love bombed by this individual and you are enthralled with them, you're encaptured by them, you're really, I guess, admiring of them, it is in those initial stages of the relationship where that hierarchy is set up. So unconsciously, you're saying, yes, I agree to be less than. I agree to look up to you. I agree to respect you. I agree to dance around your methodology. And really, soon thereafter, you then agree to then feed into their perpetual continuation of the cycle after the love bombing, which is the devaluing, and sometimes it relates to the discarding. And the devaluation can take the subtle form of insults or, just asserting in their regular speech that for some reason you are inferior to them, or you don't have as much, you don't have as many pets, you don't have as much land, you don't have as much china, you don't have as many rugs, you don't have as many cars, you don't have as much. So the narcissist, even though you might be in a relationship, will continue to remind one where they sit in the relationship. The narcissist, because they like to be at the helm, because they like to be superior, because they like to be the one in control, and they like to be the one manipulating others, calling the shots, etc. That is their coveted position. Because of this, they're going to assert this to you throughout the relationship of the history of the relationship. So It's almost an unspoken, agreed upon dynamic or role, if you will, that you ascribe to when you are in a relationship with a narcissist. So you might latch onto them because certain qualities that you find admirable. Perhaps they possess these qualities of charm. They're suave, debonair, good looking, smart, intelligent, wealthy, agile, good with the opposite sex. I mean, there might be a whole host of different, accolades or personality attributes that you find admirable within this person. So that gets you basically initially attracted, hooked, and then open to being love bombed. So not all people will fall into a narcissist love bomb category, or not all individuals will become susceptible or open to a supply. It takes a specific type of person who perhaps is looking to this person for certain strengths that they don't have within. And so when they are then with this individual, they then kind of feel a completing of their personality when they're with this individual. So, if this person, for example, if you feel you're not very well spoken, and then you find yourself with this individual who you feel is charming and very well spoken, then you might be attracted to this person, but you are automatically agreeing to, this hierarchy or this dynamic in the relationship. And so, rather than it leveling out or having the normal interplay, the narcissist is gonna, they're gonna keep you down. They're gonna constantly, they're not gonna let you rise up. They're gonna constantly remind you that they are the better than, more spoken than, better read, better traveled. I have more work. I have this. I mean, they're just gonna use whatever means and methods at their disposal to remind you that they are who they are. And not just like, oh, I am who I am, but from a narcissistic standpoint, it's ascertaining the viewpoint that, I'm not going to let you forget that, they use like a little bit of intimidation or a little bit of subtle insult, a little bit of jockeying, if you will, to keep you in the position of supply. So that is how the narcissist likes it, and that is how the narcissist is going to get it. And the individuals who are there as supply, these are all terminologies, but again, it is those people who have inadvertently or unconsciously or unbeknownst to them made an agreement to, in whatever level, ongoing. I mean, this can go on for years, it can go on for months, it can go on for decades, but have agreed on to this position. Oftentimes you see this in spouses, and this is really changing nowadays because back in the day, the man was the man, the woman was the woman, the man went to work, the male went to work, the woman might, take care of the home. I mean, that was, how that was set up, and that was, oftentimes very harmonious, and not always narcissistic, but the narcissist will kind of keep the roles very, very defined. So that the narcissist is always above, and then you come into this, eroding of yourself because they're constantly reminding you through their intimidation, through their reminder that, they are the one above, through their idealizing, through their better than capabilities. And oftentimes they keep you down, I'm the one who works, and, but then they insult you or say you have to do this and this around the house, or you can't, there's a lot of dynamics that go to then erode your boundaries. So then you really just become eroded down, and you just become an extension of this individual, which is the narcissist. So it's almost like your life is a sacrifice onto them in order to maintain their happiness or to maintain your position in their life as supply. So it becomes a real interesting dynamic to break free of when the narcissist, continually tries to keep you there, and then you're growing out of that. You're growing in awareness, you're growing in your personality, you're growing in your desire, you're growing in your happiness. You no longer want to be, you can no longer justify being a source of supply to this person. And you develop then a lot of these fighting and the battling, and then it's you're trying to then you've had your boundaries violated through so many times that you just people experience it as depersonalization, where your own values, opinions don't have a form, they don't have a place, they don't have an area to basically come out of. They don't allow you that. That's part of the narcissistic issue. And so, it's very important to then emerge out of that. And when you declare your boundaries, then you're basically giving yourself a promotion. You're giving yourself a promotion when you declare your boundaries, and you're vocalizing your opinion, and you're vocalizing it out loud, and you're moving along your own interests, and you're reflecting back to them what you will no longer accept. And there's a shift that has to take place, because the narcissist, they're still going to try to keep you down, 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 and that's how they want it. That's how they're going to continue. So when you begin to emerge and you begin to declare your boundaries, and you feel that it's not going to be tolerated by the narcissist, and that you go through the smear campaign, etc., and then this continues, is because the narcissist is the narcissist. They don't have an empathy. They don't want to see you grow. They don't want to see you emerge in your opinions. They don't want to see you fit in. They don't want to see you belong. They don't want to have any of that. They have to have someone who they can have as an underling, that source of supply. So oftentimes it's very rigid. Those roles are written very rigidly, and it is usually the individual supply who's then breaking free, and who's the one who's been so flexible really for all their life, that they're now saying, okay, I'm now declaring my boundaries. I'm now embracing my sense of self. I'm okay with that. I'm not guilty for doing this. I'm not afraid. I'm not fearful for doing this. And I'm certainly not obligated to keep my life at that underlying status that, that's not meant to be. So you have to give yourself a promotion. Get out from underneath the control tactics of a narcissist or a psychopathic individual, and really experience your independence, freedom, and happiness, the higher states that you're meant to live in. And remember, the narcissist isn't going to want you to see that. They won't permit that. That's the narcissist way. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.